What's up, everybody out there? Your boy JT back with another video. Let's talk about something everybody wants me to talk about, and that's my first 90 days working at Amazon.
Can't wait till we make it. Fake it. This the life of JT. He gon' keep it real what he's thinking. Hey. Can't wait till we make it. Keep it 100, we don't fake it. Hey.
Before we get started, make sure you do hit that red subscribe button, hit the little bell for notifications if you're loving this kind of content and you want to know more about working at Amazon and how everything works. But let's get into this video. Also, if you haven't checked out lifecrusherapparel.com, my own company I just started recently, and I'm doing a giveaway. I will be giving away this Life Crusher white on white hat. All you gotta do is leave a comment pertaining to the video. Have you worked at Amazon? If you want to know some more questions about Amazon, and make sure you do hit that thumbs up for your chance to win this cool hat. First, let's talk about the whole applying for Amazon process. All you have to do is go to amazon.force.com and you can apply for Amazon jobs. You can search on there. I personally live in Las Vegas, so I typed in Las Vegas. It showed what facilities were hiring, and then that's how you apply for the job. Once you see a job opening, you're going to apply for the position. You're going to apply for what shift you want to take, and then once you get all this done, they're going to send you an email for the next step. So next up, when you do get hired, you'll get a contingent letter of offer pending your background screening and a drug test. Yes, I did say drug test. You're going to go to the main facility. They're going to give you a time you need to go. You're going to do an oral swab test, and you do the test yourself, which I thought was kind of weird. I figured like a trained nurse or something would do it and seal it, but you have to watch a little video. You got to take out the swab it in your mouth, hold it there for, I think it was 2-3 minutes or something like that. It wasn't too long. And then once the indicator turns blue, you take it out, you put it in this solution, seal it, put your name on there, put it in a bag, and then you put it aside. Once you get all that completed, you did your background check, you did your drug testing, you're going to have to wait for an email, which was quite a while that I had to wait. I think it was like a week I had to wait for that email. So every day I was checking the email, like, all right, I know I don't do drugs, so I didn't have a problem passing it or anything like that. But I did have a felony 10 years ago, and that brings up a point that they do hire felons. I think it's a 7-year, at least been 7 years since you had the felony. Now don't quote me on that, but I did get hired as a felon. I did disclose I was a felon 10 years ago, had an assault charge on my record and whatever, and they still hired me. I think if you're honest, they will hire you. As long as it's not like theft or drugs, I'm pretty sure they will hire you, and if it's been past 7 years. So don't think that you can't get a job at Amazon just because you have a felony. But once all that comes back, you got the job, they're going to send you some instructions. Okay, this is going to be your start date, and you can change your start date. I did that when I first got a job at Amazon here, but I wasn't in town to do the start date, and then by the time that got back with me, they weren't hiring anymore. So it was kind of weird. I had to reapply, but that's a whole different story. After all that's said and done, you're going to get your hiring offer the exact day you start, and your first day is going to kind of be like orientation and everything like that. You're going to get to see the facility. You're going to start working. You're going to learn the whole process, the breaks and everything like that. And I'm going to get into all the breaks, the timing, how long you get, how much you get paid at Amazon, and everything like that. All right, right before your first day, they're going to send you an email with all the paperwork you need, your direct deposit information, and you do want to fill that out before your first day. You got to have that filled out before your first day. They even send you an email. Make sure this is all filled out before your first day. So be checking your email when you do get hired. Don't think, okay, my start date's this day, it's over. No, you got to keep checking. And a lot of times it's weird. Sometimes it gets put in the spam folder. of your email. So check your spam folder. And then you finally got all that done. Okay, it's your start date. So you get there, usually wait outside. They give everybody a badge. They have your name and everything like that, your picture. And I personally got hired as a blue badge, which a blue badge is a full-time employee. The white badge is a temporary employee, and they do lay people off if you're a temp. So do all you can to try to get hired as a blue badge from the get-go. It's kind of hard. Sometimes they start out as temp, but you can work your way up to a blue badge. But blue badges get same-day benefits, so you got to keep that in mind too when you're applying for one of these Amazon positions. If it's seasonal, that's the temp ones. If it's full-time, obviously it's a blue badge. I did get insurance day one of my employment since I wasn't hired on blue badge. After you're outside, you wait in line, you get your badge, whatever color badge you have. You're going to be assigned a learning ambassador, and these are the people that are going to train you in the position, the department. And they don't always put everybody in the same department. They switch it up. I was in packing, and I'm still in packing 4 months later. I do love packing. I think it's fun. It's interesting. The day goes by pretty quick working in packing. But I do hear a lot of other great departments too as well. But they're going to give you your learning ambassador, and he's going to take you, he or she's going to take you to whatever station. They're going to show you the ropes. They're going to tell you about, you know, how to pack and how to scan in all the products and everything like that. And you're going to be with that learning ambassador for the whole day. So if you have any questions, you can go to your learning ambassador. Hey, you know, how do I do this? This is popping up on my screen. This is happening. That's happening. And they'll be there to guide you along. During the time I got hired, it was a little difficult because you have to wear masks. It's hard to hear some of the learning ambassadors. They will have like a little speaker connected and stuff like that so you can hear. But it was a little difficult for my situation. Luckily, I've worked in a warehouse and I've done packing before, so I kind of had a little grasp of what is going on. The only cool thing about packing there is all the boxes that they want the stuff to be in show up on your screen. So you just grab the box on your screen. It's very easy. Scan the products in, throw it in the box, you know, tape it, push it on the conveyor belt or whatnot. Our learning ambassador was iffy a little bit. He was gone half the time. I was looking for him a few times. I couldn't see the guy. He wasn't too vocal about everything, the whole process. I personally have trained at different establishments, and I would take people on a tour first, show them the whole place. There's the break room, there's the bathroom, there's this. The guy didn't really do that. I had to ask other employees, okay, what time do we go here? You know, where's the break room? Where do I put my lunch and stuff like that? So hopefully, if you're watching this video and you're about to be hired on Amazon, you get a great learning ambassador that shows you the whole building, does like the fire drill stuff and all that. Ours did not. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Ours did not, and we kind of had to learn the ropes on our own. The whole training process was for about a half a day. Then you were pretty much on your own. The learning ambassador was there the whole first day, but the second day, you're with your same group of training people. People are around to kind of help you, but you're still training, but you're by yourself the second day. So be prepared that first day to learn as much as you can, because if you don't, the second day you're going to be kind of lost. Okay, let's get into the shifts and hours. I work Wednesday through Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. I opt for the morning shift. There is a graveyard shift. I don't think there's an earlier shift than 7:30 at my facility where I work at, but there is a Sunday through Wednesday shift too, same hours and everything like that. But I opt to have Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday off. During peak season, you are going to be required to work 12-hour shifts 5 days a week. So make sure if you go to church on Sunday or you have something going on Sundays, that your overtime day does not land on Sunday. Mine landed on Sunday. I didn't know. You guys know me. I like watching football. I do some sports betting on a weekly basis. And I was kind of mad that mine ended up on football Sunday. So double check when your overtime day is once you get your shift and your days that you're working. Now let's talk about the pay. Everybody's probably asking, how much does an Amazon employee make? So the starting wage at Amazon is $15.30 per hour. It might be different in other places. I know here in Las Vegas, that's the starting wage. You are eligible for raises every 6 months, I do believe. So that's how much you get paid. It's not a lot. I thought it'd be a little bit more. In my old facility, I was making a little bit more at another job. But $15.30 is not too bad, so that's a good starting pay at Amazon. One of the nice perks working at Amazon isn't the pay, it's the benefits. A lot of people know that benefits are worth a lot of money, so $15.30 an hour isn't too bad when you get same-day benefits. Not a lot of jobs do same-day insurance, so that's a big perk. The only thing that really sucks at Amazon, my personal opinion, is the paid time off and the vacation. You get it roughly around 2 hours per week of each. It's usually not even 2 hours, an hour and 50 minutes what I usually get per week of paid time off and vacation. So I don't know, that doesn't seem like that much to me. Some people say it's a lot. My old facility, I used to get 8-hour sick leave, PTO, and vacation, so there's no sick leave here, but they do have a thing called unpaid time off. When you first start, you get 30 hours of unpaid time off. You can use it anytime emergency. Say your car breaks down halfway to work, you can put in your unpaid time. And there's an app that you use, it's called Amazon A to Z, and you're gonna put in all your times. You could clock out from the facility. You gotta be at the facility. But your unpaid time off, you do wanna kind of save that, because if anything happens, one time we were going to get on the highway and there was a wreck, you couldn't even get on the highway, so I had to use some of my unpaid time. But you start off with 30 hours, and then every quarter, which is about every 3-4 months, around 4 months, you get 20 hours. So if you could save that, and that does occur. Now, when you use your PTO, you have use it or lose it time by the end of the year. So you can acquire so many hours, but if you don't use it, you end up losing your paid time off. Your vacation rolls over. I think you can have up to, I don't know, 80 hours or something within the first year, and then you do got to use some of it, I do believe. But your unpaid time, you can use that anytime you want, but they want you to try to have at least 10 hours, just in case you need to take an emergency day off. If you get into the negative, especially within your first 90 days, you probably will be let go. So keep that in mind when you do get hired and you have all this unpaid time. Well, shoot, I could take this day off, you know, I just paid all my bills or whatever. So make sure you are saving that for emergency. I had to use a bunch of mine right before I got a new allotment of the time. So keep that in mind. That's talking about all your unpaid time and your paid time off right there. So let's get into the process of the actual working, getting to work, what you have to do, all the rules and everything like that. So first you're going to walk into the facility. There's going to be a turning rack door things or whatever. They have like bars on them or whatever. You're going to scan your badge, go through that. Then you're going to go through a temperature check. So it's an infrared temperature check. You got to walk through this line. A lot of times you do got to take off your hat if you have a hat on or whatever like that. So then you're going to go through there. You could clock in for your shift 5 minutes early. So I usually put up my lunch if you got to go to the bathroom or whatever. Then you're going to go ahead and clock in at 7:25. Then, like in packing, they have these big old screens, TV screens or whatever, and they have your last name and what station you're going to be appointed to. So you're going to have to go to that first, check what station, get to your station, and you know, you'll scan your badge into your station if you're at a packing station. If you're doing a rebin or induct or something like that, you're going to scan your badge in there, and then you're going to go ahead and start working. Some of the managers are really strict about your time. So if you clock into work at 7:25 and you're not getting to your station till 7:40, they're going to come talk to you and give you a warning and tell you if it keeps happening, we're going to go to the human resources and you're going to get a write-up. So be cautious of how much time you're taking to get to your station and scan your badge in, even if you have to get more boxes or more supplies or sanitation wipes or whatever. Make sure you are getting scanned in right away as soon as you get there. I've been talked to a few times because there was a 4-minute gap, I kid you not, between me getting to my station, and sometimes your station's way the heck over there, so you can't help it. You can't run people over to get to your station. So, you know, I've been talked to a couple times about that. Never got a write-up. They usually understood, like, I'm getting boxes or I'm doing this and this. Now, if you're not producing numbers, I guarantee they're going to nitpick you for every little thing every time. So I produce pretty high numbers myself, so they usually don't mess with me too much. They will ask me, okay, where were you here? One time I had to go to the restroom, the system logged me out, and they came and talked, well, I had to go to the restroom, and then they usually say okay. Some are crazy, they'll send you to HR, give you a write-up and all this stuff. So you kind of got to be careful what management you're dealing with when it comes to, you know, the time gaps of being at your station, and, you know, bathroom, stocking supplies or whatnot. Now let's get into the breaks at Amazon, how they work, what times you take breaks. Now different departments take breaks at different times. Obviously you can't have 2,000 employees run into the break room at the same time, especially with COVID going on, which we are going to get into the whole COVID safety measures here after this. So the breaks, I take my break at 9:20. They give you a 20-minute break, so 9:20 to 9:40 is my break. I work upstairs kind of in the back, so it takes me a while, but now they used to let you leave about 2 minutes early from your station to get, you know, to where you got to go and everything like that. Now they're saying you have to log out of your station right at 9:20. So if it takes you 5 or 6 minutes to walk up there, you know, you're going to be stuck with a 13-14 minute break. Used to be 15-minute breaks, but they gave an extra 5 minutes due to the COVID safety measures and whatnot that's going on. So the only thing that ever got me was your break is a half an hour for lunch. You're working like a minimum 10-hour shift. You get a half an hour for lunch, and they want you to log out, so it kind of puts you behind. So I don't know how that works at whatever facility you work at, or you're gonna work at, or you plan on trying to work at, but you got to kind of be careful with your break times. And when you clock back in after lunch, it can't be less than 30 minutes. So it has to be exactly 30 minutes. So if you try to clock in 29-minute lunch break, they're going to flag you, and you got to wait until it turns green on your badge, and then you can clock in right on 30 minutes. So be cautious of your breaks, and you got to really pay attention to all that, because if you're late too many times, they will give you a write-up, and they might get rid of you depending on how long you've been there. You've been there a couple weeks and you clocked in, you know, 5 or 6 times late, you know, they might end up getting rid of you. So you got to kind of be cautious of all that too. Here's a big question people always ask me: is there a lot of overtime at Amazon? Well, there is and there isn't. So during peak seasons, which is like November till the end of December, beginning of January, you know, obviously the holidays, everybody's shopping for products and presents and stuff like that, you are going to be required to work an MET day, which is mandatory overtime days. So be prepared for that. Like I mentioned before, make sure you know when your overtime day is. But the only thing that got me was you're going to work 12-hour shifts 5 days. So you're going to end up working 60 hours during peak season. So that's a really difficult time. That's when a lot of people can't handle it and stuff. So make sure you do have good footwear. And they do have a footwear program, Zappos, which will give you a free pair of shoes every year. So that's kind of a cool perk too of working at Amazon. But they also have voluntary extra time. You know, a little bit after peak season, it's still kind of busy or whatever. They're gonna see if you want to work voluntary extra time. That obviously is voluntary. Sometimes you can take a, say if you don't have nothing going on a day, you want to earn a little bit of extra cash, you can pick up a voluntary extra time day, and then you can earn some extra cash that way. But overtime, they have different seasons and times of when they do the overtime. So, you know, be prepared to work some overtime. You're not going to work overtime all the time. I think I've only worked 2 months of overtime in the 4 months I've been there, so half and half. So that's what overtime is about at Amazon. Let's get into management. How is the management at Amazon? And, you know, am I happy with the management at Amazon? Our facility is kind of weird. They have a lot of new manager and trainings. They don't really know all the process and everything like that, because sometimes you don't have a station. You'll look on your board, there's no station, so you got to wait at a place called Problem Solve, and then they assign stations. Okay, you go here, you go there, so you can't log into the system right after you clock in. So they're trying to figure that out. Where I'm at, there's a gap in time from you clocking in to being logged into a system, so you got to kind of be careful of that too with the management. Everybody seems kind of nice at my job for as far as the management goes. They don't really mess with you too much. If you do screw up on something, say if you're packing and you missed an item, or you forgot to put a tag or something on there, something will come up on your screen, say, hey, be cautious. They don't really get too mad unless it's happening like 50 times a day. Then they're going to be like, all right, JT, like we need you to not do this or try to work on this or something. But for the most part, they don't really mess with you that much. Some of the new ones have been coming up to us with the gaps in time, but they don't really know how the whole process works. They're just seeing in their system, okay, this guy, you know, there's 8 minutes missing where he's not logged in the system. They don't realize you got to go to the bathroom, you got to get supplies and whatnot. But overall, the management where I work in Las Vegas isn't too bad. You know what I mean? They don't mess with you. They usually kind of let you do your thing and stuff like that. So that's what I think about the management at Amazon. If there's one thing in Amazon that I absolutely hate, and that's the security. I don't hate them personally, but just how their whole process works and everything like that. They just recently installed metal detectors, which I kind of understand that process. But the metal detectors are random because everybody has metal in their pockets. I carry keys, you know, I have like a vapor pen, I'll have, you know, a box cutter for the job itself, and they just, I swear, they just hit the button when you go through them. So on my lunch breaks, I go outside. You know, it's usually nice here in Vegas. I usually can go outside, eat my meal out there in the warm sun and everything like that. So it's just random. Sometimes I go 2 weeks without the metal detector going off of me. Sometimes it goes off of me, you know, 2-3 times a day. So it's so weird, and I always carry the same stuff. Every since I started that job, I've carried the same keys, wallet, vapor pen, like everything in my pocket every day. My box cutter on the side and everything like that. So I don't know, I don't really agree with how their system works. Once it does beep on you, you got to go into another room and they do a little scan, but they don't have a wand that goes over your body. Okay, what's that? So you take everything out of your pocket. I think they're looking for people stealing stuff, but you know, they don't really even search your pockets, so you can grab half the stuff out of your pockets and put it in there and it beeps. You know what I mean? So that whole process is really jacked up. And it's always when I'm trying to go to lunch. You know, I'm already behind. You know, I got to walk downstairs, go to the bathroom, go over here, you know. So I'm trying to hurry, get outside, eat my lunch, come back in and start working, and it'll go off. And that puts me back 5-6 minutes sometimes. So the security there, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the security. I understand why they got the systems in place, but you know, just how it works is just, I don't know. It's kind of crappy, you know what I mean? All right, let's talk about the safety team at Amazon. Well, with COVID going on and everything like that, everybody has to maintain a 6 feet social distancing. So you'll have these safety team members on microphones yelling 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet. And you always get the person in front of you that's going barely even moving, and you're trying to get to your station, you know, because everything's fast at Amazon. You got to get to your station, you got to start working. It's a high production warehouse. So the safety team, they're doing it for a purpose though, because you know, if they're not following the rules, someone comes in and shuts the whole facility down, I guess we don't have jobs. So you know, I understand why they're doing it. Some are nicer than others. Some are like 6 feet guys, all right, and then some are like wanting your badge, want to scan your badge, try to get you a write-up and stuff like that. So you know, the safety team is all right. I understand why they're doing it, but sometimes there's so many people in there, it's hard to really maintain that 6 feet of distance. And then they have these monitors throughout the thing that have circles around your body, 6 feet circles. So if someone gets into your circle, it turns red on their like monitor and stuff like that. So you know, it's kind of weird, their whole safety team. I don't know how they work when COVID's not going on. I don't know what they do, but the safety team is all right. But I mean, it's just kind of a weird situation with COVID going on. Now let's talk about, do I recommend getting a job at Amazon? I like working at Amazon. I think it's a good job. You got good benefits. The only thing that gets me is the pay. And they did one grimy thing to me, and they did it to everybody else too. They raised the cost of insurance. They didn't even let me know. I didn't get no email or anything saying, hey, you know, the insurance is going to go up. And it went up like $8 a week, which isn't a ton of money, but still at least give me a heads up. So they've done a few little grimy things to me. I'm still waiting on my Christmas bonus. They said if you work till the end of December, you would get a $300 Christmas bonus. I have not seen that. And right now, filming this video, it's January 19th. So someone said end of the month. HR said it could come any day. I don't know about that. But as far as me liking working there, I do like working there. I wish the pay was higher. Sometimes you only get like a $400 some check per week. So, you know, be prepared for not huge pay for a warehouse. I mean, right in the middle probably. But, you know, I do like working there. I would recommend. you know, you getting a job at Amazon, that the time goes by pretty quick. It's really busy in there most of the time. You know, you're obviously going to meet some people you like, some people you don't. You kind of just do your own thing. And that's what I like about Amazon. You're not dealing with customers or anything like that. You're just packing, or you're doing rebin or induct or whatever, and you're just getting it done, and then the day goes by. And working 4 10-hour shifts is awesome because you get those 3 days off. So that's one of the reasons too I like working at Amazon, because you get them 3 days off. Now obviously when it's mandatory overtime, you only get 2 days off, but you're still getting 2 days off. So I would recommend working at Amazon. If you guys work at Amazon or want to work at Amazon, you have a question about how it works and everything, leave a comment down below. Or if you want me to do a part 2 of a bunch of different things that I didn't cover in this video, leave a comment down below. Hit the thumbs up if you do like the content, if you want to see more videos like this, the process and how it works. Much love to you guys, and don't forget Life Crusher apparel, and leave that comment for a chance to win that Life Crusher white on white hat. Thank you guys so much. Salute.